Hey everybody, welcome back to the long-awaited return of Tales from the Trail, which I'm sure absolutely everybody's just been missing. Mike,
what's
welcome.
up? How's it going?
We just did a podcast together.
Yeah,
we just went to Hocking Hills together.
Yeah.
And then here you just dragged my ass out of bed early as shit.
That's how I roll, man.
For a sunrise, Tales from the Trail, Mike photo shoot, sunrise. I don't know what we're calling this, but it's something.
Yeah, it's something. I don't know.
Oh
I
man.
didn't bring any of my steadying stuff. So,
Yeah.
I just planned on doing some pictures and maybe some drone shots today, but if the gods will let me.
Yeah, it is actually super killer out here right now. We're going on the Mike Balonek trail special.
Yeah.
I'm following you today.
Just wander around and hope that you don't get lost.
Yeah, so first thing I've noticed is my hand is already cold as shit.
Yeah. Actually.
Freezing.
Well, yeah, just the one for me.
This
This one's good.
You know, sometimes you debate, like when you wake up on a morning like this and it's supposed to be warmer.
Yeah.
I know myself personally, a lot of the time I'll be like, I don't need gloves. It's supposed to be like 40.
Yeah.
And then you get out here and you start doing this shit, and then you're like, why didn't I listen to my brain earlier when they knew I needed gloves?
Yeah. No, I made that same debate about long johns. I know it's supposed to be warmer, and I didn't want to put on long johns just because it's like I'm gonna get moving and then I'm gonna be like just literally sweating my balls off. So it is what it is. I'm not cold really, but I could see potentially if I wasn't moving as much that I would be. So
yeah, well, it's it'll warm up here, and I'll be wishing I wasn't wearing this coat probably in about 40 minutes.
Yeah. But I'm glad you got a red coat though, because that would be nice for some pictures.
Well, it's
I almost wore my yellow one today, but I was like, no, it's too fucking cold for that.
everybody says that I like orange, and I was like, literally orange is always on the discount rack at like any store you go to. So actually I do not like orange really at all. It's probably like my least favorite color.
Really?
But I will take an orange jacket that's about 50% off any day of the week.
I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter as long as it's keeping you warm.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I played with this gimbal too. I mean,
That's quite the shaft that thing's got.
It's got a little tripod on
It's
it.
almost as big as my Ronin. Like,
Well, your Ronin's a little more professional. This is just some cheap, like $80 bullshit I got off of Amazon.
it does the job. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah. So, what have you been up to, man? I know you're busy making some new mini docs.
Yeah. Well, I
around.
just finished whipping up this little video about the Hocking Hills trip that we just took. That'll be live on Monday, tomorrow, which I don't know if you'll have this up by then, but
We'll see.
we'll see. And it's been going pretty good though. I mean, I'm just trying to build up my skills, that sort of thing. Hi guys.
Good morning. Well, that Hocking Hills video, you showed me some of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Actually,
So
now
good.
you got to see the finished version. What's on YouTube? It's
Yeah.
it.
I saw the finished version, and it's so funny because when you're there, you're just running around like filming me with a camera and like running around doing this and that. I was like, where the hell Mike go again?
Yeah.
Then you see the final product, you're like, God damn,
I appreciate that.
that's sweet. So
Yeah. No.
I'll put a link in the bio wherever
Yeah.
so you can find it.
Yeah. No, and that's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that video. I kind of had a vision going into that, and while the mass amount of people that were there kind of ruined that vision, I still made do with what I had, and I think it was great. It's not quite pointing toward me.
That's okay.
How wide is that?
Super wide.
Is it okay? So I could be back here, and you'll still be able to see.
That's what's great about the GoPros, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're an action cam kind of guy. Jesus.
No, but I've been looking at these Insta 360s because like the whole 360 thing is kind of cool to me.
Oh yeah, it's super cool.
I mean, I don't know if you were getting on the Peter McKinnon train. I don't know if you follow his buddy Matty Alpoya, but Matty's really big into 360 cameras, and he likes them because it literally takes a 360 degree shot, and you can pick what angle out of that you want. So It's like, as we're walking right now, if you wanted to cut to that nice meadow on the other side, you literally wouldn't have to move anything on your camera right now. Like, you would just already be filming it and us at the same time.
Well, the problem with all that stuff is it gets really expensive really fast.
Yes, it does. They are. I don't think they cost any more than a GoPro does, but like, you get your GoPro, then you get your Insta360, and then you get your
DSLR,
Osmo, and then you got your DSLR or mirrorless, and then you got your freaking drone on top of that. And before you know it, you're out 10 grand, and you're like, Jesus.
Didn't even get anything.
Yeah, like, why are these credit card companies calling me so much?
I do like the gadgets. The 360 would probably be cool for something like this.
Yeah.
But it's just...
Well, it sounds like, from what they're saying, like, it's just good with vlogging and stuff like that, and like action stuff where you're not paying attention to like what you're doing, you know? Like, I mean, the example he was using was snowboarding. He was just a whistler in the last couple videos in BC, if you're not familiar. And actually, that's also the model backpack that I have too, incidentally. But yeah, like, he's able to go down the hill and just snowboard, hold a stick out in front of him, and not have to worry about, oh, is this stick pointing at me? Like, if I want to cut to like looking down, like, do I have to like turn this properly? You know, like all that stuff. I don't have to worry about any of that. So that sounds really appealing to me. So,
well,
I think if I want that route, that's how I would go.
The cool thing about action cams like this is like you can throw it on a stand, you can throw it on a gimbal, and it's just like ready to go. Like, I don't have to worry about this too much.
Right.
But when you get a DSLR, I mean, the run time's pretty short. You can get like what, mostly like
I have half an hour on this, and then, just the setup time too. Like, I mean, you've seen it already. It's at least a good 15 minutes just to get it all together. I mean, I'm just gonna keep adding more stuff over time, so it's just gonna keep getting more and more. It is what it is.
Well, the thing they say about GoPros is like, it looks like a GoPro. I tell that.
Yeah.
I said that to my wife last night. She's like, why do you keep looking at all these different kind of cameras? I'm like, you ever seen a GoPro video? She's like, yeah. It's like, it looks like a GoPro video. Like, you can always tell that it's a GoPro. Like, I've spliced in some GoPro footage on this little gimbal for projects I've worked on, and you can always tell, even when it's in linear mode and like not all fisheye, it still just looks like a GoPro. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just you can tell.
Yeah, it may not be a desired look sometimes.
But for like what I'm doing right now, perfect. It'll
be consistent throughout too, so you don't have to worry about like that like clash of like, oh, you got like this nice mirrorless footage, and then you have that right next to it with the fisheye or just the GoPro look.
You see something?
I'm gonna pop one off here, but I just need to figure out how I want to compose this, because I want some sort of foreground element, but I don't see anything yet.
This is what we're here for, folks. Mike's expertise, the eye.
The eye?
The eye. He's got the eye.
All-seeing eye. That is a little nerd joke there. I'm gonna just drop that one right where it was at. Leave it back there. I've gotten this shot here before, and I mean, this is kind of like what I was saying about the podcast, and like, I do want to clarify, since we're back on air, as a recreational place, like, the Northwest Ohio is amazing. Like, there is so much stuff to do around here, but from a creative standpoint, it gets boring quick, you know? Like, there's so little variation in the landscape, which, I mean, you basically have forests and you have flat, like, meadow area. So that's kind of where you're at as far as that. And I mean, it does force you out of like your box, you know, and you have to really think about compositions and stuff like that, like we were talking about the spot. But at the same time, we'll love me some mountains. We'll love just even some like decent sized hills.
Yeah, I mean, it is flat around here, but we have a lot of access to a lot more than
natural resources
than some.
It's like incredible. Which, I mean, we got the award for best park system. So rightfully so. I don't know. Let's see what. Yeah, it looks like it'll work. I love the way that sun's just popping right through there.
Yeah, it looks great.
What about that Z9?
No, I have not.
You're familiar with like the D5 and the D6 series, right? Like the really high end.
Yeah.
So this is like the equivalent pro body, the big grip on the bottom and
Oh,
everything all
boy.
built in. It sounded like it could potentially go one of two ways. Like this could be one last ditch effort by Nikon that completely bombs, or they may have just like, they're gonna blow everybody out of the water. Like those are the two directions that I kind of see. There seems to be like this level of nonchalance going on at Nikon right now that I'm just kind of like, you guys do realize like everyone thinks you're about to go out of business, right? So they just announced this sensor. What was it? Maybe 2 weeks ago, I think. I'm not positive, but it's only a 1-inch sensor, so it's not like something they would use in this. But it can shoot 1,000 frames per second at 4K.
Wow.
And I'm wondering if they've already developed a full frame version of this that they just haven't fully announced yet. They did say that the Z9 is gonna have a stack sensor in it, which is what that 1,000 frames per second sensor is. Now keep in mind too, that's a 1-inch sensor. A full frame sensor is not gonna be able to shoot that quick, but just think about that, you know, like how do you scale that up and at what level, you know, like are they gonna be at once this is like scaled up to full frame? Like, are they gonna have like, is it still gonna be able to do like 8K 120 frames or something, you know, like crazy like that? Like, we don't really know at this point. Like this is all 100% speculation, but as a Nikon user who has been feeling like he chose the wrong system for a little while here, it's definitely encouraging at least to know that they're trying.
Yeah. Yeah, I shoot Nikon too. I've been talking to you a lot about switching to a mirrorless body.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing a lot.
This is a bummer. This is
more
nice
traveling.
little, pine forest right through here.
Oh yeah, they're
This
doing
was half the reason why I wanted to come this way.
things change.
Yeah, no, I knew they were taking some of them down. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I've been looking to switch to mirrorless just because they're more compact.
Yeah.
And there's just so much like I'm trying to do a carry-on bag to fly here soon and just stuff in my DSLR in there on top of everything.
Yeah.
It's just so big and I gotta like yank the straps down to get it to fit in the overhead. And it's just like, one of these days I'm gonna open that up, the lens is gonna be snapped off or something.
Pull out your 750 there real quick.
All right, let me try this.
If you can.
I'm doing a juggling.
If you need, we can stop for a second.
Oh, no, let's
There's
roll.
a bench up here.
We're gonna roll forever.
Keep walking.
We're just gonna keep
roll
it.
right through. And the whole reason is basically we can do a little comparison here. More or less, we have the same camera. Like yours came out just a little bit before mine, but more or less.
If you want to hold it and do the comparison.
Yeah, Jesus.
Look at that.
I mean, height-wise, you already got like another inch on the body there.
Yeah.
This size, I mean, you got like another ½ inch. So this is a full frame sensor in here. Literally, I think they have the same sensor inside of them. More or less the same features. I think the only difference is I got the 4K and you don't, but yeah, so much bigger.
So much bigger. And
Yeah.
it's not a terrible thing. Like for just
It's not an 850 and it's certainly not a D5 or a D6. So I mean, like it's still relatively small.
yeah,
But it's still humongous.
Yeah, it's a beast. I mean, it's not like you just throw it in your backpack and hop on a plane and whip it out and take some photos. Like it's a piece of equipment.
I wish this wasn't like this. I like the trees. There's some like leftover fall colors.
Yeah.
Picture of the destruction.
It's I believe this is one of the main spots they're doing the restoration of the pines right now.
Yeah.
I cannot get this gimbal to stay straight today. What is going on? It's drifting all over the place. But yeah, man, this is I said on a episode a while back, like a podcast episode with Todd Crail. The one thing we were talking about is like, man, conservation is ugly, and this is what this is kind of what we were talking about. Like, look at that. Like, it doesn't look nice, but I mean, in 5-10 years, this will all be something.
I would say maybe even 3 years. Like,
yeah, I mean, just they'll be planting something, I'm sure, or it might be a meadow. I have no idea what they're going to do here.
The objective, if I remember right, was that all of these were going to get turned back into meadows. But, don't quote me.
So yeah, it'll just be different.
Yeah, and no, once it's like grown into a meadow, it'll be nice. It's just right now you got all these charred remains and everything.
Yeah. And it's like, or like pre-spring.
Yeah,
getting towards the tail end of winter here.
A week.
Yeah,
about
something like that.
A little bit more, I think.
So it's that weird transition before everything starts growing. The mornings are still cold as shit.
There's leaves on the trees.
Yeah.
At least in my neighborhood, I don't really see a whole lot going on right here. A little bit on top of that one, but
it'll be a minute yet.
Yeah.
Before we get into full.
Actually, though, so I was looking back through some of my old Hocking Hills pictures, and there was one time we went and it was like super foggy, and I was just trying to find out like what time of year that was, and it was actually March 10th. And the crazy thing that I noticed was that like all of the trees had already had leaves and everything on it, like that early in March, and it kind of surprised me. Because I usually kind of pay attention to that sort of thing. It kind of typically happens around the end of March, early April. So
the one thing with these trees being gone right now, you can definitely see the variation in topography.
Yeah. So there's
just drops off
there.
Yeah.
Swan Creek runs through there, I believe.
Yep. We're following it. It's just weird because when this was all pine forest, like
you can't see any of that.
I never pay attention. I also have never been on this. Is this like
This is like a connector, all-purpose trail.
Yeah, like all-purpose trail here at Oak Openings. But I've only ridden bikes on this, so I'm always like hauling ass through here. I'm never just like chilling and walking. So
I spent a summer just wandering around trying to hit every trail in here, like even the horse trails. So there is a horse trail that kind of cuts back through this way and goes through the little floodplain there. I've only done it once or twice. I think I did it twice because it's just super freaking muddy every time I go down there.
Well, I have a feeling today is going to be absolutely no different because it's been getting warm.
Yeah.
And then it's been getting cold, and then it's been getting warm.
Right. Yeah, I know. My sinuses can feel that.
So, yeah, man, what's next on the agenda? I know you're always moving forward with filming, and you got any cool places lined up that you're looking at, or are you just gonna explore here?
A couple friends that I were planning a trip to West Virginia this weekend. If I don't get my stimulus by Wednesday, I might have to cancel that one.
Oh.
So we'll see. I hope I don't have to, but it also kind of already sounds like the first wave has already gone out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It'll be disappointing if I don't, because there's some parks down there that I've been wanting to go to for a long time, but it is what it is. And obviously, finances are more important. It's getting to about the end of my savings here, so I got to start thinking about what direction I want to go back into the real grown-up world, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to take photos and start this bullshit up here.
Well, I mean, it's a hard road.
It is, and it takes time. And I mean, a lot of it too is I had a plan that didn't work. So, I mean, it's just, that's how things go sometimes. You know, you think that you have everything lined up right, and then that one thing is sometimes it's all it takes is just that one thing to come along and screw everything up for you. So.
Well, trust me, dude. I've lived that life for a long time.
Everyone's experienced that at some point or another.
It's just part of like anybody who's built anything or created anything or started their own business or created their own, lifestyle or whatever you want to say.
Right.
It always comes with just massively fucking up a ton of times.
Yeah. It's a trial and error process, and I've definitely learned a lot of things throughout all of this. I mean, at least at this point, like I know how to put in a solar power system. Like I'm very capable of doing that. And so whatever comes next, I know that I'll be able to get all the power needs going. And I have some good carpentry skills and all of that. So one of the things I've been kind of like, one of the things I've always wanted was just a cabin in the woods. You know, I mentioned this in the podcast, and that might be my next move just because it's a little simpler than trying to rely on a vehicle to get around, and maybe I'll just simplify it up that way. But ultimately the goal is just to minimize. I'm very much a minimalist, always have been. Most of my money goes to just buying this junk and try to keep even that pretty simple. You know, I bought myself a mirrorless body that is capable of both good video and good photos. So I have a lot of room to grow in this still. So there's no need to get anything else for the time being. Although those new Blackmagic 6K Pros really, really, really look nice. But not today. No.
Yeah, there's plenty of equipment that I want as well, but we'll see. We'll see when I'm able to get that.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you seeing?
Just like the way the light's coming through there.
So are you a big? Do you use the screen a lot, or are you more of an eyepiece kind of guy?
I use the viewfinder mostly, but the screen comes in handy in situations like this when kind of got to get down low. The one thing that Nikon has not jumped on yet is it seems that Canon's the only one who really gets it. Articulating screens, man, like, why the hell, like, isn't that just a standard feature? I should be able to flip this thing out any direction I want.
My D5600 has a flip out screen like that.
Okay. And I stand corrected. Nikon did do it once. Why? Sony did the same thing. So Sony came out with the A7S III not that long ago. Had the nice fully articulating screen on that. And then they came out with the A1 and had the same bullshit, just little flip up screen. Like, what's wrong with you guys? Like, you did it right, and then you were like, well, let's just go back to doing it wrong again.
I don't know. It probably has something to do with, like, saving a few $100s or something.
I mean,
have
maybe.
no idea.
Honestly, like, I think it comes down to they want to sell their new phone. So Sony also came out with this cell phone that is also a recording monitor that can also connect to 5G and broadcast whatever you're recording live. So very, very, very niche-y phone.
I was gonna say, that sounds like if you're not like a streamer or like doing shit like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, literally, if you're not doing this live, there's no reason to ever get that phone. But that's what they want, I gotta imagine. Like, especially the kind of people that are going to be buying the A1, which is their high-end camera, their flagship. So, yeah, those people aren't going to be really looking to use the screen, I don't think, that much.
So when you're out here taking landscape photography, what's kind of going through your head? Like, is it just kind of all feel, or do you you stop back there and you just stop and be like, man, I can make this look good?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just always looking at things. Something that I had in my bio, and I think I mentioned this in the podcast, was that I like photography because it kind of teaches me to look at like the minute details of things rather than just being out for a walk and not paying attention to any of this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, even to before I started doing photography, like, I would look, but like, this is a whole nother level of just like details and stuff like that, you know? And you might just catch something that it's not really much. Like for me right back there, it was the mossy log and the way the light was coming through those trees there. That was all it is. And whether or not the shot will even turn out good, who's to say? Like, you got to get that back onto your computer sometimes and just look. But
yeah,
like, that's usually how it goes. It's just something that'll catch my eye. I don't know if there's a specific process to it.
I usually will just like sometimes like it's when you're in the mountains it's pretty easy because everything looks just super sweet.
Right.
But
well, the hard thing that I always noticed in the mountains was getting that context. Like you could take a picture like from the top of a mountain, but you have no scale because you have nothing to compare it to. So like thinking about little things like that when I'm like out, like I might use a person or something, to frame something up and make it look, give it some context, as far as size or whatever.
Yeah.
It's always nice having someone stand in your waterfall pictures, because then you get that sense of scale, see how big that waterfall is. Otherwise, it's like you could be zoomed in on something that's only a foot tall and making it look like it's freaking ginormous,
Yeah.
My friend Destiny is really good about that. She'll get in on the tiniest little rapid and like she gets it back and like it looks like this giant waterfall and you're just like, I would have never known, like if I wasn't there watching you squatting in front of that little but it is what it is and they turn out good and that's how you do it.
I found for me specifically, like a landscape like what we're in right now, like just like this, like right, we're walking through it, it looks super awesome. The sun's hitting the trees and you get all these cool shadows.
It's really pretty.
But like that's really hard to translate into a photograph. And I don't know why. Like I've tried a million times and I'm trying to also wipe all the boogers out of my mustache.
I'm just fucking running right now. I'm sorry about the profanity, folks. You have to get the bleeper out.
Nah.
Okay, so what the issue that you're running into, and this was something that I dealt with for a long time, let's go this way, I'm good, is like a lack of a clear subject.
Yeah.
So like, this is beautiful, and this is kind of getting back to what I was saying about like creativity and stuff in this area as well. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I think like everything you were saying about it, the light's hitting it perfectly, but there's not like a clear subject. Now, if we were to have a picture of you standing out there taking a picture, or just whatever, butt naked for all we care.
Nobody needs to see that.
I mean, I'm not going to judge if anyone does, but if that were the case, then that shot might be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Depending on how naked you are. Again, I'll leave that to the viewer to depend on how interesting that is to them.
Leave a comment below.
Yeah, leave a comment below if you'd like to see that. Not to say that it'll happen.
Aptitude Outdoors OnlyFans coming soon.
Yeah, there you go. That's where the money's at, bro.
Yeah. OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Only.
But that was an issue that I dealt with for a long time before I finally realized, like, you need something to kind of draw the viewer's eye to.
Yeah.
And I mean,
well, there's just some people that can nail landscape photography. It's just like, I don't know what it is that's so different about it.
I'm not sure.
But some people just really,
if I figure it out, I'll
nail
let
it.
you know.
Yeah. Because like it's so hard to train. Even this like little man-made lake here.
Yeah.
It looks super cool, but like I don't know if I could get a good photo of it. Oh. Photo of a photo?
Photo of a photo.
Photo of a video?
Technically a photo of a video.
Oh, there's a downy woodpecker up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You definitely will not see it. Jeez. It's up there. He's just bouncing around. Little tiny guys.
Yeah, hey, very good. He can see it.
Wish I would have brought my Sigma out, my giant zoom lens. Could have been right up in his... Could have been right up in his business.
Yeah.
It's pretty loud out here this morning, man.
It is.
There's lots of noise. There's lots of
I really am regretting wearing these shoes.
You wore tennis shoes instead of boots today?
Yeah.
What do you got? The New Balances?
New Balances, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right now, it's kind of shitty. It's like cutting into the back of my heel.
Ugh.
I mean, you know how like when your shoes start to get old, the heels start busting out, and you get all
too often.
I know you really ran into it.
Oh, here we go.
See, this is where having boots would have been nice, because then I could have
Walked in there.
gotten in ankle deep with boots. I don't know if it worked out though.
Nobody's stopping you.
Positive. I like that.
Yeah, this part of the trail always gets a little stanky.
That's nice.
anything good?
See when I get home if I can tell if it's in focus or not.
So when you're doing your video,
Yeah.
are you mostly rocking autofocus or are you manually focusing, or is it a blend?
Back and forth generally, depending on the shot. So, I mean, generally speaking, autofocus is fine. If I'm shooting human subjects, autofocus is great because this has face and eye detection on it. So, as long as you're not on the very, very edge of the screen, which I happen to do way more than I should be, but it is what it is. It just takes practice, I guess, paying attention to what I'm doing. But if I'm doing like a shot where like, well, I'll show like an example. Say like I'm focusing on that, but I want the camera to kind of like come out, truck out is the term, from the side.
Just lock it.
What's that?
You lock it into focus.
Yeah, I'll lock it into focus on whatever's back there. That way, it's not trying to focus on this in the foreground, and then I get that shift, you know, like I want whatever's back there to be in focus as soon as I come out from my foreground subject.
What's so weird to me, because I do a lot of the video that I've done is always manual. I've never done autofocus, and I don't.
Really?
I think it's partly because my 750, the focus isn't like amazing, like the autofocus, and some of the lenses I have are a little cheaper, so they don't really pick up on stuff real fast.
Yeah, I definitely have to use the Z lens. I can't use any of my adaptive lenses to do really good video with. At least I haven't really tried yet, but I do want to experiment with my 50 millimeter because it's a f1.4, so I know I'll get that really creamy bokeh on there.
Yeah.
But I was messing with it the one day and it takes too much to focus. So it's going to be a very specific use situation.
Is this the horse trail or no?
Keep going a little further. This is a horse trail, but it's not the horse trail.
It's not the horse trail.
Yes.
That's something actually that I've been doing too in the last few years, because I've hiked pretty much, I don't want to say every trail at Oak Openings, because there'll be somebody that'll be like, you missed the orange trail or something.
Yeah.
But I've hiked most of these trails. And I did end up just wandering horse trails quite a bit. And there's actually a lot of cool stuff because
I find them, I like them better, honestly.
well, they're a little harder to walk on because they're sandy as hell, but there's way more interesting stuff because you're getting away from like the really well maintained like average trail like we're walking right now. Like
the other thing too for me is I feel like the horse trails go through more scenic areas, you know, like just more diverse like ecologies and stuff.
It's a goose. We're gonna get attacked.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Goose. You guys find anything good down there? You guys want to be on TV?
Oh, gonna be on TV.
No, they aren't interested in
No.
Go back to Canada then.
We have nothing to say. My client doesn't wish to speak.
Goose lawyers. There's a goose and his lawyer. It's a new Paul Fuzinski, Mike Balonek special.
Yeah.
Goose lawyer. It's coming out soon.
I mean, people like those lawyer TV shows.
Yeah. Well, dude, speaking of TV shows,
I feel like Law and Order with geese.
do you remember the show Assy McGee? I don't know why I thought of that. There was literally a show on Adult Swim.
I don't have cable, so
this
most
is
of
what-
these things I've never even heard of.
We would have been like, I don't know, mid to late teens. You probably would have been like an early adult.
Yeah.
And it was literally a cop, but it was just an ass. I don't know why I thought of that. And
you know what? I do vaguely remember that.
When he would talk, he would just make farting noises.
No comment on that one.
I don't know why I thought of that, but I guess it's just like ridiculous shows that shouldn't
No,
exist.
that's funny though.
Like Goose Lawyer, but Assy McGee's up there pretty good. Assy
That
McGee.
sounds like a term that I use. Whenever I'm making fun of other drivers and stuff, like
Assy McGee.
not Assy McGee, but just like I'll like whatever they're not doing that they're supposed to do, and then McGee.
Anyway, that was a weird offshoot, but
look at that.
that's a big ass bald eagle.
Holy shit!
I've actually, I don't think I've
Did
ever
you get
seen
that?
one that. No, it's facing us.
Ah,
But that's where I need a 360 camera.
yeah. I mean, granted, like it's going to be a tiny pinpoint in it, but you would have at least seen it.
Yeah, that was a big
it was humongous.
Big bald eagle.
I just seen the wings and I was like, oh, what is? And then I saw the tail and I was like, ooh.
That is super cool. We have like a pretty big revival of bald eagles around here.
I had actually seen a map of the counties.
Yeah.
There's a beaver or something down that way too.
Some muskrat probably.
Maybe, yeah. One of
yeah,
those.
a little muskrat. You guys won't be able to see that, but he's swimming down there.
Yeah.
You might be able to see the wake.
Yeah. But
I don't think that's the beaver. I don't know. Well, let's go check out this muskrat.
yeah.
There's a lot of wildlife out this
Oh,
morning.
yeah, the bald eagle. So I seen a map of how many bald eagles each county has. And Ottawa County had the most and Lucas County had the second most in the whole state.
Yeah, there's.
And Northwest Ohio, like, had more bald eagles by far than anywhere else in the state, like, by a lot.
See the muskrat out there? He's about halfway across Evergreen Lake. Pretty cool. They're like mini beavers.
Yeah.
They're super cool.
I had a run-in with a beaver one time at Metzger Marsh.
Really?
Like, I'm not positive it was a beaver because I didn't actually see it, but I saw in the picture something that resembled the shape that could be potentially a beaver. So I was walking down to the shore at Metzger on the marsh side of it, not the lake side of it. And I start going down. Actually, like, I get right up to the shore basically, and like there's like all of these like logs and stuff, which should have been the first dead giveaway to me.
Yeah.
All along the shoreline there. And I stepped on one and like something lunged out of the water at me. Like just at like this vicious speed and like scared the fucking shit out of me. So I jumped back, take a couple steps back, and nothing. Like I didn't see anything else after that. But as I was editing the picture, either that night or the next day, I noticed the shape of a critter right next to like where I was about to step that I was just assuming was more wood, but I almost stepped on him basically, and he was probably thrashing his tail, and it splashed out of the water at me. So
Yeah, they're definitely around here. They're
yeah.
not like super common, but
I hear they can be kind of mean too if you're not like.
yeah, that's why they call it the show Angry Beavers. Back to weird TV shows.
Yeah, there you go. Back to like way to bring it all full circle.
Well, you know me.
Yeah, no, that worked out perfectly there.
Ever the showman.
Where did that eagle go?
Oh, he's long gone, dude. He took off. He was moving.
He was moving, but he never went up. He stayed down by the water, so I kind of was hoping that maybe it stayed down there somewhere, but I don't know. It'd be nice if we come across him down there.
Yeah, we might.
As we get to the end of this.
We might get through it.
How you folks doing?
Good morning.
I might pop on the zoom lens just for that one.
I don't know what bird that is.
Which one? The one
That
there?
one making that really annoying noise.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I've heard that, but I don't
I've
know.
definitely heard it, but yeah.
There's a blue jay.
It might be the Jay.
Could be.
Because I know they have kind of like,
Different
it's
colors.
similar to like a hawk. Like kind of like a hawk.
Yeah. If you know what it is, comment below. See how?
Yeah, there you go.
Let you guys figure it out.
Utilize the collective intelligence
Yeah.
of the human race.
Please let me know, because I'm an idiot that has my own nature show, but I just don't know shit about
Well,
nature
maybe.
apparently.
I don't think anyone expected you to be like an ornithologist or anything
Yes,
like
they
that.
did. That's
You're
my
just a dude
number.
that likes to hike.
That's my number one comment.
Why
I thought you. Why aren't you an ornithologist, you asshole? Comment below if I should become an ornithologist.
Yeah. there you go.
Or if Mike should. Who cares? One of us.
Yeah, somebody should.
Oh man.
Or
But
we have enough of them in the world and the idiots like that shouldn't be doing it.
yeah, that's probably true.
Let's stick to taking pictures.
Yeah. Give me a GoPro. I can handle that. Speaking of birds, man, that's literally the reason I bought that gigantic zoom lens that I
Yeah.
bought, was because there's so many freaking birds around here. Like
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't
The birding capital of the world.
Yeah, the landscape photography, I need to get a wide angle lens.
Yeah.
And I know I'm a huge proponent of the whole like use what you have. That's why I've been rocking this 35 millimeter forever. But it's like, okay,
the widest that you have?
yeah. I mean, I have a kit lens from my my Nikon D5600,
Yeah.
and I have like a 12 to 24, but it's a crop sensor lens, so I'd have all like the vignetting issues and all that shit I don't want to deal with. I could put it on my crop sensor camera.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I've like spoiled myself.
Why did you pay all that money for this nice full frame?
Exactly. So it's like excuse me. It's one of those stupid like mental blocks. Like it's more of a matter of pride than it is like, because I could totally come out here and take wide angle pictures with my 5600 and they look great.
Yeah.
Like there's absolutely no reason I couldn't do that. It's just
especially like this time of day, you know?
Yeah. But now I have a Nikon D750, which is like a way nicer model. And I'm like, get that garbage out of my hand. Even though it's a fully functional, when I first got it, I was like so ecstatic.
Yeah, no, I know.
I went from the
Same boat, man.
Nikon D70, which is like no video, to the the D5600. And then once I got the D750, like, get that peasant camera out of my face.
Okay, so to be
So
fair,
this is cool.
I really did like my D7100. Like if I had to pick a crop sensor camera to go back to, I could see myself using that, you know, and like being okay with it too. Not like just being like, oh man, I gotta use a crop sensor camera. Well, I got some really good shots out of that thing.
And for the people who don't know anything about this region, this is what everybody talks about, the oak trees. I mean, the pine trees.
Yeah.
I mean, they look gorgeous, but like they're like not even remotely part of this ecosystem.
No.
So like when they cut them down, like in the field back there, everybody's like, oh, come on. But like, this is what it looks like. That's why everybody likes them so much. But like, said a million times.
But they're not native at all. We would call them an invasive species, but we put them here.
Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily hazardous or bad. They just don't do anything for the ecosystem.
Well, that
here.
and they're dying, I guess. Like that's from what I understand. Like the metro parks is more of like they're looking at it from a safety issue.
Yeah.
As much as it is an ecological issue as well, but safety because they're falling over and they don't want them to fall on anybody.
Yeah.
But also the logical thing to do would also be replace them with whatever's native. And in this area, it's meadows and oak openings.
Yep. But whatever. Yeah, that's not to dwell on that issue because I've talked about it a million times already on this show.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You talk about it with me.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. What's your take on it then, Mike? Mike, what's your take on the pines?
I mean, I support what they got. They got to do what they got to do, man. Like it is what it is. Like I'll miss them, but there are other places that have pine trees in the world. So
yes, like Michigan.
Yeah.
Which is by far one of my favorite places on earth.
Yeah, dude. Although to be fair, a lot of the pine forests in Michigan are the same type of deal.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the history of these? Like why they planted them?
I don't know like verbatim, but it was something with they like basically clear cut Michigan and then they replanted. Are you talking about here or Michigan?
Just in general.
Yeah, they just clear cut.
That it was pretty much everywhere that had to.
Well, yeah.
It was a CCC project during the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it started, at least from what I understand. And they did, like areas where there was like massive erosion from farming and stuff like that. They started planting these, thinking that was a good thing to do. Not really ever thinking like there's not a fucking red pine in like hundreds of miles of here. But, you know, props to them for at least like trying, I guess. But yeah, now we got to deal with that mess.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just the way. That's how conservation works.
Right, you know.
It's not a...
And hell, like 50 years from now, we might figure out that we're doing it all wrong now, too.
Probably.
Controlled burns? Are you fucking stupid? You don't set it on fire. Now, from everything we know at this point, that's a very logical thing to do.
Yeah.
And as I understand it, Native Americans did that for millennia before us white folks showed up.
Yeah. Oh, we're on the North Country Trail. Woo. All right. Oh, he found something else.
I like details. This leaf is just super crinkly.
So the advantage now of being up this early is there's literally every animal that you could imagine is like alive and awake right now.
Yeah.
Come out here in the middle of the day and they're like, get out, just go away.
Right. I mean, that is one of the reasons why I like coming out in the morning. The other reason is that it's just less busy, you know.
Yeah, that's
Seeing
true.
a sunrise feels more special than seeing a sunset because less people are awake to see the sunrise.
Sure.
So I appreciate that part of it. I think that that's nice, and that's mostly my motivation. Plus, by the end of the day, sometimes I just don't feel like doing shit. You know, and it's just like, oh, I could go out and get the sunset. Or I could keep watching Peter McKinnon videos on YouTube and see if I can figure out how to use After Effects. And then I end up doing that.
So you can ask anyone that knows me well. Jesus, this camera is freaking out.
It's enjoying the view, man.
Yeah. Anyone who knows me well knows that I'm not, my biggest weakness as a human being is I just cannot sit still. I cannot just do nothing.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to make it a habit, at least a half of one day a week.
Yeah.
Like a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like even this, we're out here, it's a Sunday morning. I woke up at 6:30 to meet you here to do this.
Yeah.
Because I can't just chill.
Yeah. Technically 5:30 because daylight savings time.
Yeah, it's the daylight savings day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm not very good at just chilling. So yesterday I didn't do anything. I watched Peter McKinnon videos since you told me about him.
Yeah.
Just like looked up, which is still doing something, but like I didn't like actively go out or like I didn't work on something.
Yeah,
I didn't
you weren't
edit a
physically
video.
doing anything. You were just sitting and taking in information.
Well, I didn't even edit anything. Like I didn't like do breakouts of my podcasts or edit anything. I just like chilled. It was really weird because it did feel good, but at the same time, I got like super, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I felt guilty for not doing anything.
Okay,
I don't know if you get that way as like a creative, but I feel like if I'm not, since what we do and like the things we enjoy are such like a packed market, you know what I say?
Yeah.
You always feel guilty if you like miss a day, and it's really hard to like get over that like mentality because really nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, FOMO.
I haven't put out a Tales from the Trail in for over a year, and I'm just like, I need to do this tomorrow. Like why? Like nobody missed it the whole time, but here we are.
Well,
but I like doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's the key too. I mean, if you're enjoying it, then if you find yourself getting worn out and you're like, oh God, like now I gotta go do this, then you might want to change your perspective a little bit and stop pushing so hard. But I mean, for me, I have no problem. I don't want to say that like being unproductive because I have a lot of different ways of being productive. I mean, I do spend a lot of time just sitting and watching YouTube videos of things that I want to know how to do, you know? And so, I mean, is that unproductive? I wouldn't call it unproductive because I'm learning, you know? I mean, last night I watched a couple more After Effects videos. That wasn't just a joke earlier. Like, that was literally a thing that I've been doing. So, I've been wanting to learn more about After Effects and use it. And those titles that I did in the Hocking Hills video were
super awesome.
All After Effects.
That's one thing. I don't know if it's just like wired differently or something, but a lot of my people I know, friends, family, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't enjoy, I guess is the way I would phrase it, just like sitting and watching a TV show or a movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because like, I don't know if it's because I make this stuff all day long.
Yeah.
Like video content and like basically like a talk show in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of get burned out on it. But like, I've never found enjoyment. Like I don't own a video game system. Like I don't
either.
I like, it's the outdoors and like video and technology,
right? And
talking about stuff is like what I like to do. So I don't know, like it's for me, there's like a blurred line between, I'm also hope we're going the right way. I'm just walking this way.
I'm pretty sure we are. I mean,
I know
we need to go a little further, but
I know where we're at. I can definitely get us
Boy
back.
Scout trail right now. So. It'll get us where we need to go one way or the other. It's just whether or not this was the one that I planned on turning down. I think it was the next one, really, but
we'll
I think they crossed, so I'm kind of hoping on that.
So anyway, like my idea of enjoyment is this. Like, I like doing this. I like the video editing process, even though I've told you in the past it can like get really annoying.
Yeah.
But that's just part, like you have to like it.
That's exactly it. I mean, I spent 4 days working on the Hocking Hills video, and then when I got done, I felt empty. Like, it's just like, now what do I do? Like,
Got to make another one.
yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. And so I was thinking about doing something today, but I knew you wanted to do this, and I didn't want to like competing videos kind of thing, you know? So I figured I'd just bring the camera and take some pictures.
So are we staying on the horse trail or are we going down the scout trail?
Let's keep going this way.
Okay. Sweet.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I
They
know
all
all of these will
intersect.
take us where we need to go.
Yeah.
Not 100% positive it's the one that I want to do.
I really like the challenge of dodging the horse shit on the trail. It's
Yeah,
really,
you know,
it makes
there's
for a
something
better
about
day.
it. And then like some of the horse trails are really sandy, so it's like you're really getting that like calf and upper thigh workout, you know. Upper thigh, aka ass. So yeah, like there's definitely benefits to it.
So I see these all the time.
Yeah.
I wonder, I don't know what that is, but it's weird looking.
I don't either. I mean, it kind of looks like there were branches there that fell
Yeah.
off, and then somehow like it just wore out inside. I don't know if like birds or something maybe.
The only thing that my brain is thinking is like ciliated woodpecker holes that kind of like
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
healed up or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, if you know
Yeah.
or
Again,
know somebody who does,
I
let me
suspect
know.
This is dead though at this point.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely like a woodpecker hole right here.
Oh yeah.
But
No, I
like,
see all sorts of woodpecker holes just all throughout it. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if like those are just places where branches fell off and then woodpeckers start going at it or something maybe.
yeah, it's weird. It's all over on just this little area. There's like a
Yeah.
ton of trees.
Yeah,
over there.
there's a couple others here.
I don't know. I'll have to ask somebody.
Yeah.
So
Find a park ranger.
yeah, that's one of the advantages of having this platform is I've met a lot of really, really smart people who like know a lot more than me. So I can just literally
Yeah.
ask them like, hey, what's up? Do you
Yeah.
know what this is? And then
that guy knows.
maybe you could.
Hey,
I sure as shit don't know.
I got a question for you. He's just gonna run away. You guys.
You never believe it, guys. I went to the park this morning. I saw 2 Sasquatch.
Okay, so story for you too.
Uh-oh.
So
Do I need to like cue in some like scary music?
actually, yeah, it would be appropriate for this because it was kind of a terrifying moment. So this forest up here, this is nice too. If we go down this way, that's cool. But I think this is where I was planning on going.
Yeah.
There was no we. I don't know why I said we. So one day I'm just like, this was the first time that I came through here, and like I'm exploring these horse trails and stuff back here, and I come across like this pine forest that we're about to enter right now, I think, and it's full of crows, like thousands of crows. Like when I say thousands, I'm not exaggerating. Like, so I'm walking through this forest, like, and I come upon them, and they're like all cawing at first, and then like they see me, and they just all shut up, and like I get this feeling like I just walked into something that I wasn't supposed to see, you know, like getting a little like paranoid, like, oh, there's enough of them that they could kill me if they wanted to, very easily. There's a reason why they're called a murder of crow. But I start walking through it as this section right here, because it's like that straight trail. I was coming from the other direction toward us, and every like couple feet that I would walk, like the group directly in front of me would take off and fly to the end of the trail.
Bunch of deer just ran across the trail.
And so every time a group of them would take off, the roar of their wings like was not like anything I've ever heard. It was like a jet engine. It was so loud. It was, like I said, it was kind of frightening. Nothing happened. Like they didn't do anything, but they all clearly didn't want me to be there, and they watched me very closely as I passed through.
That's the horror story for the week.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite moments in my life, though. Like, just so cool.
Yeah, this is. Oof.
Yeah.
That's going in there. Sorry.
It's gotta.
Wow.
I announced it beforehand, too.
That was
so
impressive.
that's probably all that pressure that I've been feeling here for the last, since I drove here.
But I think, well, it's from your videos and from being around you in real life, I feel like your morning routine consists of a few McDonald's,
Not usually, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't do McDonald's very often. Normally, I'll have oatmeal for breakfast.
Oh.
I didn't eat anything yet this morning, but my morning does usually consist of like at least 2 or 3 good healthy shits there. So some more beer up there.
Where at? Oh yeah, I can see him take off.
To the side there again.
Yeah, that is the one of the downsides to the GoPro is if it's not like right up in your nose, in your eyes, like you ain't seeing it.
Megapixels is it?
10 trillion billion. I have no idea.
I was gonna say, if it's 10 trillion billion, you could definitely crop in on that.
I was actually, so I have the GoPro Hero 7.
Yeah.
And, welcome to Aptitude Outdoors Tech TV with Paul and Mike.
Yeah.
That's what we've been talking about this whole time. But that's what we're into, so it's whatever. But, so I was...
the gear is related to outdoors.
Yeah.
Out here taking pictures.
Yeah. So, anyway, I was watching a GoPro Hero 9 because for the podcast studio, we have GoPro Hero 9s with the media kit.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to know how to get that video, that's it. It's just GoPros. And the 7, I wanted to switch all my stuff over to 4K because I can now. I have the firepower within my computer to make it happen, which I'm happy about. And so I was looking at my GoPro and I set it up to do this morning in 4K, but there's no stabilization supported in 4K on the 7.
Oh.
So I was like, that's a huge bummer. Not that anybody gives a shit, but it's still.
I give a shit.
I've noticed though, okay, this is going down a real rabbit hole of tech BS.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that uploading 4K video, when YouTube does what it does and just compresses the living shit out of it to make it look like garbage, like you just spent $10,000 in equipment and then it just compresses it to make it look like you shot it on a cell phone in 1996.
Yep, I'm familiar.
I noticed the 4K, it still does that, but it looks really good in 1080p then. So you almost like overkill it just so it looks good normal, which like what
that's kind of what those guys were getting at about even when you're doing 1080 video, record it at
4K
because of something about YouTube like will make it look better still. I guess maybe if I look while I'm pointing it might help.
That usually is a good help.
See, this is where the fully articulating screen would come in handy, Nikon.
You're laying on your back trying to get some photos?
No, I'm not. I'm too old for that shit. Maybe 10 years ago.
Well, it is. When we're about an hour into our walk, and I'm finally starting to warm up.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty good, other than the fact that my heels are like getting raw. But
my hands aren't freezing anymore. I probably look like a little kid with his boogers all over his face.
Man, my nose is burning like a stick.
Yeah, that's the problem with doing these. I don't know why. Every single episode so far I've done of Tales from the Trail, it's been cold. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
Get out here when it's warm, but
seriously. I mean, we got summer coming if we want to do a couple more.
I'm trying to figure out I know where we are, but I'm trying to figure out how this gets back to.
Okay, so that all-purpose trail that we came in on is literally right
Oh, okay.
This is the bottom of Wilkins Road. That is 64, 65, whatever the route is that runs along the southern part of the park. I kind of want to see if I can fly my drone.
You're not supposed to, but I ain't saying nothing.
Well, I mean,
it'll be on video.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. I mean, I'm not supposed to if there's air traffic.
That's true.
It's an enhanced warning zone, though, so I think they will enhance my warning by telling me that I'm not allowed to.
It's true. I've done it before.
Yeah, no, I actually had a moment one time where I was out here trying to fly it, and it just hovered, like it wouldn't go more than 3 feet off the ground. And just like, all right, nope, not happening. And then another time I was out here, and I was able to just completely free fly it everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and it was closer to the airport that time, too. I'm not turning this lens around, I guess.
Yeah, we are, what would you say, a mile from the airport? If that.
We're a little bit more than that, because think about, like...
Oh, yeah, it's probably like 5 miles.
Airport Highway to Monclova Road is probably a mile, and then Monclova Road to here is probably another mile, so I would say we're probably about 2 miles.
We're really close to the airport.
Yeah, we're not.
It's
we're
like,
definitely well within the I'm not supposed to be flying my drone area.
We're in the no drone zone.
Yeah. Well, no, we're not in the, I shouldn't say that. We're well within the, I should be careful flying my drone area.
Well, you definitely ain't getting that high because of the
No.
canopy.
I mean, I could maybe sneak out, but it would be nice to get a shot above the trees. I could go out to the road out here. That'd probably be the smarter thing, wouldn't it?
Probably be the easiest to
That'd
fly.
definitely be easier. If I want to, because I did want to get one in the forest, like just whipping down. I'm gonna do that one real quick. We'll see what happens from there. I'm really just jonesing to fly the damn thing since that Hockey Hills trip. Like, I don't know what it was about it, but like I felt like my cojones, like I was like the Grinch where his heart grew 3 sizes. Like my cojones grew 3 sizes that day.
Hell yeah.
And I was just like doing all these things that I would never normally do with my drone. Like the whole under the bridge shot at the Upper Falls. Like, I didn't even feel nearly as nervous about it as I thought I would. Like,
You did great with the drone, man. I was really surprised. Like, you did some ballsy shots. I still think it's the funniest thing ever. These little kids were throwing rocks at his drone.
that made me feel bad. It wasn't just little kids. It was one little girl and one grown man. The grown man like almost hit it like 3 times. There was a couple points where like I was ready to maybe go say something, but I was like, I wanted to give the guy the benefit of the doubt that he wasn't doing it on purpose. But by the end of that, like I was pretty much convinced that it was all intentional.
So what are you rocking here?
I got the DJI Mavic Air 2. It's pretty spiffy. I like it. It flies pretty well. It's fast. It's pretty easy to control. It goes under bridges really well, apparently.
I would really like to get myself the Mini
Yeah.
because
I thought about the Mini 2. I think actually is really close to this.
well,
The only thing about the regular Mini that I didn't like was that it didn't have raw photos.
okay, yeah,
That was kind of a big deal to me.
I like my Mavic Air, but I also, if you haven't noticed on the show, love super compact cameras. I was texting you the other day about, like, oh, should I buy this Canon like M10 or M1 or 100? And you're just like, no. Like, but it's so tiny and cool, and I'm flying a lot and I'm traveling. You're like, dude, if you do that, you'll regret it. I was like, I know that, but I want it.
Yeah,
It makes no sense.
I know how it goes. I need to figure out what I'm going to take off of it.
I'm still debating on whether I'm going to take my drone to Texas or not. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, get out there and fly it at least. I know you said you're kind of a little worried about that.
Well, it's just I'm running out of room in my carry-on.
That is an issue. That I can't help you with.
I was thinking about doing a video of what I'm going to take with me to podcast in Texas, but
That's a good idea.
we'll see how that goes. I got,
Everybody does those.
I'm trying really hard to get it all in one carry-on bag because I do not want to pay a bunch of extra money for more
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah, no, I definitely get that.
all right, we're back in action. We've got a drone following us.
Technically, we're following the drone.
We're following the drone, but the drone is self-automated flying backwards. Look at that.
Yeah, it just like it's doing it so like patchy.
Yeah, it's real jerky.
Jerky, that's the word I was looking for. Jerky. Why is that like a very basic 3rd grade word? I should have been able to figure that out.
It's got a jerk-esque quality to it.
It's very jerky.
Jerk-esque.
Jerk-esque. Look at the jerk-esque. Horrible French accent.
That was really bad. French accent.
All your French followers are gonna unfollow you now.
If you're French, please do not unfollow because of Mike's terrible accent.
Oh, sacre bleu!
That is pretty bad.
That was awful.
Oh, yeah, we've reached the end of the park. There's no more park. Your drone's about to crash, so holy shit.
around it.
Oh, it's going into the middle of the road. I'm waiting for a car to come by and just smash me.
Wow.
That would
I'm gonna do
suck.
a quickie here and see if I can go up over top of these trees.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Smells like horse shit.
It does smell like horse shit.
That's funny. It's still trying to follow you. was wondering why it was like all like not being straight and shit.
Sounds like it's on the struggle bus up there.
Nah, it's doing just fine. It's only 77 feet up there too. We got lots more to go, folks. All right, let me go ahead and adjust some of these settings here so it doesn't look so god awful.
Pretty bright up there?
It is, yeah, up there. All right. This is my first time flying over trees, so hopefully it doesn't go too bad. Start recording first.
And that was the last time Mike Balonek ever saw his drone. I shouldn't say things like that.
Oh, God. No, my heart rate's already going up. All right.
Great work.
Thank you. I've been dying to get a shot like that for a while, too. I just hope it's not all overexposed.
So you're rocking the ND filters on that drone, right?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. I need to get a set. Oh, I do have a set, actually. I haven't used them yet.
Yeah, this one came with them.
Oh, it did? That's nice.
Yeah, it came. I got the what's the set with everything, you know?
Yeah.
The fly more package. Give it a lift. He's gonna cut his nothing.
Stabilizer versus stabilizer. Crash. Dang.
Oh, I didn't see those birds.
You just scared the shit out of some birds. They're like, that is not a bird. Oh, here he comes. Oh, dude.
I was recording for that. I was recording for that.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Let's get it behind us. That way it's not. You know what? Actually, I kind of liked it walking forward or walking toward it because then I can watch it.
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't crash into anything.
They are loud as hell, though.
It is, yeah. You can have all of that buzzing.
That's okay.
Everything's always weird when it's backwards.
Gotta give the people what they want. They want more buzzing. They left the note. They left it in the comments. They said, more buzzing, please.
More buzzing, please.
So I'm giving you what you want, people. It's not the content you need. It's content you deserve.
Yes. All right, let's do it.
All right, so it appears that we are getting near the end of our trail adventure.
We're getting close.
The tail,
We got this whole long road to walk here.
the tail is almost at its end. But yeah, I suppose if you are a horse lover, there's a donkey right there. If you are, we're on the outskirts of the park. I don't even think we're technically in the park right now. We're just on a road.
To be in the park.
But yeah, it's a great place. You can ride horse trails. That's one thing people don't talk about at Oak Openings a lot is the horse trails.
This is true, yeah.
It's really, really epic. There's lots of people with horses around here.
Yeah.
You can just literally ride right into the trails, and I mean, I don't have a figure, but it's lots of miles of horse trail. Definitely more than hiking trail.
Yo, yeah.
So yeah, if you're out here in Northwest Ohio and you're bored and you've already hiked all your favorite trails at Oak Openings a trillion times, like Mike and myself, well, there's horse trails.
Hold on a second.
That thing is going just bonkers.
I'm trying to get it straight, and I just keep making it worse.
He's literally making it so much worse.
It won't turn. There we go. I just want it pointing towards us so it'll fly straight backwards.
This is the behind the scenes footage.
I also wanted to get it to stop beeping too. So that's not going to be great for your footage.
Yeah.
That also,
Thing is freaking out.
one thing that would help too is you turn on the record button.
That usually was pretty helpful.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, especially when you get home and you're like, oh, yeah, I didn't record anything. Kind of like the audio on that Hockey Hills video.
I will say the one thing about drones that I really get disappointed with is they always, even with the ND filters and stuff, you can't really adjust that much in the camera itself. So it's like they're always
They lost this.
they're always on the verge of being blown out a lot of the shots, which is
Well,
I
the
mean,
nice thing about this is it has what's called a log profile.
yeah,
I'm not sure if you're familiar with those or your
Absolutely not.
viewers. What's that?
I am absolutely not.
Okay, so a log profile is what's also called a flat profile, basically being that
Oh, yeah, I
has
know.
no contrast to it whatsoever. So that helps a little bit, but I still run into that, you know, like at Hocking Hills, like it was really bad where like all of the highlights were just like almost blown out and my shadows were just too dark to be able to pull out. Normally, if I'm like recording, like all of the footage on my Z6, like had none of that issue whatsoever. Like all of the highlights were very well exposed. The shadows I was able to boost up enough so that you could see the details and all of that. This, I mean, obviously you got a smaller sensor, so you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, of
But,
course.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and I
I
mean,
take it as it goes.
and like ideally, you would not be shooting in full like balls to the wall daylight.
Yeah, I mean, this
For
is
the
an
best.
ideal, like even right now, these aren't ideal conditions for shooting it.
We've already passed the golden hours of the morning, so
Yeah.
we're getting into like that bright. Like this GoPro is probably blown out too right now. All the sky probably just looks like white because I'm rocking it on full auto because we started and it was pretty much almost dark.
Yeah.
So now it's probably looking. The GoPro really does do a good job though of like being in full auto. I mean, yeah, you like hear people on YouTube like set it in pro mode and blah blah. Like we're doing one continuous walking shot and we're going through dark ass woods to like super wide open.
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna deal with that as it goes. And I mean, when I have a variable ND on my camera, so when I'm moving around, like I can mess with that too. You know? Like
exactly.
I have that ability as I'm going. The one nice thing about the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro camera that I was mentioning earlier is that it has built-in ND filters, which
Oh wow.
yeah, like well, that's the thing about some of these high-end, more high-end cinema cameras. That's some of the things that they come with, you know, is like they'll have built-in ND filters. The I think the A7S3 might have them too, but don't quote me. If not, it should for the price.
I also love how you're literally just flying your drone as we're like walking around just bullshitting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're just like flying it nonchalantly. Like,
I have to admit there was a couple seconds there where I realized that I was concentrating on flying and did not listen to what you were saying.
no, that's
So I apologize for that.
That's
but,
everyone. Don't worry
I
about
mean,
it.
you can only multitask so much.
That's how everyone reacts to me when I'm talking.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
just
oh,
don't
I
get
forgot you were there.
I forgot you were talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah,
I'll shut up.
it's all right.
Oh man, but yeah, I really like this park, even though I've been here a million times. I know you do. I know you're getting bored with it though, but
This is definitely the one that I get the least bored with. So there is that.
well, for me, it's the scale of this park. Like wow, we just hiked for probably close to an hour and 45 minutes by the time we're all said and done here,
Yeah.
and we've scratched like a
We've
tenth of
only
the
really
park.
been in the southeastern quadrant
Yeah.
of the park.
Like I'll try and throw up a map if I remember of just like where we're about in the park, and it's not a very we've touched like a little tiny bit of it. So, but it's so nice out here. It's like easy to get around. This trail we're on, anybody can do it. It's so wide and like well traveled. Like anybody, even if you have access issues with like mobility, you can get out here for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's kind of the nice thing about the metro parks too, is that they do have a lot of just good accessible trails, you know? Every park has an all-purpose trail that is wheelchair accessible, totally usable by pretty much anybody in all capabilities, you know? If you want to just go for a short walk, they have shorter walks. If you want to go for something longer, I mean, this park here, like you could literally spend, I mean, if you were allowed to camp, you could do a multi-day hike out here. But unfortunately, you're not allowed to camp. So.
You can't camp
I'll say I should correct.
Yeah.
There are campgrounds, but you can't just camp like wherever.
It's not like a state forest or something up in
Yeah.
Michigan where you can just plop down wherever you
camping
want.
or whatever,
Yeah.
or off trail camping. Which would be nice if they did that. I mean, they got the Boy Scout trail, which
Like that
I
many
forget how
times.
long that is. Is that about? It's about 20 miles, right?
It's about 15 to 17.
Okay,
depending
yeah.
on-
So,
depending on who you ask.
But hypothetically, if you wanted to split it up into 2 days and camp along the way, like if they allowed that, that would be great.
Yeah, I would say you can do that because there's Springbrook Campground and there's White Oak Campground, which we pretty much walked by White Oak when we were hiking.
Yeah.
So I was like on the other side of the creek, but yeah, you could come out here and start at either White Oak or Springbrook, can't hike to that opposite campground camp, and then go back and backpack it.
Yeah.
It'd be like a nice 2-day little mini trip. I know the park does have programs where they do that occasionally, but time to kill the drone. Pack it up. Well, on that note, since the drone is going away, I think we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna wrap up this hike. Maybe we'll take a few more pictures.
Yeah.
But I want to say thanks for coming, not only on Tales from the Trail, but the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
This will be out before the podcast, but I think we had a pretty good conversation on the podcast. You guys don't want to miss that one.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Lots of fun stories from Mike and myself. So
Yeah. And the Hocking Hills video.
the Hocking Hills video, yes.
Mike,
Promo it.
Balonek. Go check it out wherever you watch your social media.
And I will be sharing the shit out of it because it's super cool. Maybe I can, if I do a rush edit, I might be able to get this out by then, but I doubt it because I'm lazy as shit.
You're just talking about how you can't not do anything.
Yeah, it just depends on how I feel at any given moment in time.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for watching, and I'm sorry I'm freaking this camera out, but gonna try and pick up more with these Tales from the Trail because they're fun to do. As COVID is kind of dwindling down, it appears, people are getting a little more comfortable coming outside. So hopefully we can keep this up. It's a fun show. So I will see you all next. Whenever Mike's podcast comes out, check that out. I'll throw some links up. And peace out.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Tales from the Trail. If you can, go down below, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more podcasts and Tales from the Trail soon.